Amex Turning Points. That's right. American Express and I are hosting a brand new show called Turning Points. It's on, well, not your AM dial. It's on your podcatcher. So iTunes, Stitcher, whatever you listen to, type in Turning Points, and you'll discover, along with me, the stories of businesses that have turned around and are having phenomenal success because they grasped their turning point as an opportunity.
Today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing it, baby. I'm growing my accounting practice. And you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
Episode 111 or 111.
We're doing all the voice changes and stuff. We're getting intense, Ron.
Yeah, imagine if somebody's listening to us on speed dial right now. They're speeding up the play on the podcast.
They can't say a single word.
It's unbelievable. What a great show. So welcome, everybody. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit. Actually, welcome, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
We're a little giddy today, and I'm Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First. I hope you have a copy of that book. Hope you're digging into it. That's actually part of the reason we talk or have the show in the first place is because what we're doing with Profit First. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. But this show specifically is called GMAP. That stands for Grow My Accounting Practice. We go through every element of successfully growing an accounting or bookkeeping practice. That's our intention for today. We're going to grow yours. How do we do it? Well, first of all, we interview a phenomenal guest. Today, we're going to talk about self-accountability.
Nice.
One of the biggest struggles small business owners have. But that's not it. We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi psychology of the sale technique. Every single episode, giving you the leading edge in selling those phenomenal services you have to offer. And we give you the GMAP Now task. The one task that if you do it at the end of the show, you will see growth in your business. Last week, all it required was 2 pictures and you're flipping things over and your business is improving. Wonder what it'll be today.
And of course, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, and of course, my favorite, growmyaccountingpractice.com.
Yeah, we have our top 10 list there.
Yeah, I think this might be going up there. I have the crystal ball.
All right, let's do it. When Shaneh comes on, you better bring it, Shaneh. All right, but before we bring her on, a couple more things I want to talk about. First is we started this new webinar series that is totally free. You can get access to it right now today by sending a simple text to 678-506-7543. What's the text, you ask? It's GMAP, G-M-A-P. Text GMAP, GMAP to 678-506-7543, and you'll be signed up for free to our monthly webinars where we teach you other techniques, more techniques, and you get to see video of me and Ron talking about growing your accounting practice. Oh, and our corporate partners, Ron, not to be forgotten. Who are the folks that support us?
Receipt Bank.
Yes.
Nextiva.
Yes.
Fundbox. F-U-N-D-B-O-X.
Yeah. I'm playing the music throughout. I'm so pumped today. It's still going, right?
Yeah.
So all of those are our corporate partners. You can learn more about them at the end of our show. And maybe they're a service that you want to use, or maybe, just maybe, it's something that your clients can use.
There you go. That's added value.
Okay. There's 20 more seconds of the music. Do you have anything else you want to say before I do our introduction? I'm trying to stretch.
Let's get to it.
I'm trying to stretch us, Ron.
Just fade it out.
All right, we're going to fade out, which kind of clicks off just how it's set up here. All right, there it goes. Yeah, I tried to stretch it, but I failed. Her name is Shaneh Woods, and she's a bookworm, a music lover, a candy maker, and yes, the owner of E3 Services. She's from Alaska, North Pole, Alaska, to be specific. She prefers that no one throws Santa Claus jokes at her. She's heard them all. But Shaneh is the big picture person at E3 Services. She works with clients to understand their dreams and goals, and then, together, they develop a plan that helps them get there. Her superpower? Taking multiple dysfunctional systems and creating something new, exciting, and useful from them. And a couple things you may not know about Shaneh. She is a Profit First certified member. She is a legacy Zig Ziglar speaker, trainer, and coach. That's no easy accomplishment. And she is the co-author of Amazon's best-selling book called Phenomenal Small Business Success Stories. Now, one more thing.
This is impressive.
The music one?
No.
Oh, would you want to talk about the first client?
She
Yeah,
still
well, you
has.
wanted to say that. Why don't you share that?
As a client, first client, 22 years ago, still a client today.
Yeah, she's had a client for 22 years. That's unbelievable. One more thing I wanted to share.
Yes.
Is she is such a music addict that she decided to start hosting charity concerts in her own living room so she could get the front seat to the show. Oh, that's my type of person. Shaneh, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Loved the music.
Clear.
You could have made it
Thank you.
20 more
Yeah, you had the
seconds.
front row to that one too. And talking about front row, maybe that's a good accountability mechanism. I mean, if you're putting on your own charities, you got to make sure the performance is to your standard. Is there some form of self accountability even built into those type of fun things that you're doing?
Absolutely. It's my name going on the concert, so I make sure that the performer is excellent. We have the best equipment so that it sounds great, and we make sure that the performer is an amazing human being because it's not just about the music, it's about the charity.
I see.
You need to
Yeah.
have a decent guy. No dicks allowed, right?
Right. That's like one of the big rules that floats around here.
Right.
So let's start getting into self accountability. First of all, would you define exactly what that means?
Well, when you think about it, most businesses fail because they know what they need to do, but they fail to implement, right? Well, having an accountability partner is great, but they're not always available or they're not the kind that's going to kick your butt when you need it. So, coming up with a program, a system that you're following through on the goals that you've committed to is the only way I know to make it work. So, me being the systems builder that I am, I took what I did on a daily basis, kind of instinctually, and created a physical program around it.
Okay, so we got to get into this. So self accountability is committing to your goals and getting them done. I just want to give you kind of a counterpoint right now. What if we overcommit? I mean, what if we say, I'm going to do 100 different things? Maybe that's already undermining the ability to hold ourselves accountable.
It absolutely is. And part of what I do in my process is narrow it down, really focus on what is the next best thing that I could be doing to reach my goals, and just focus on that one thing.
All right, so can you walk us through your process? What is the self accountability process?
Well, it starts out for me because your goals should be more than just your business goals, they should be your personal goals. Is really discovering what all of your goals are, right? And then defining, are they goals, are they dreams, are they wishful thinking, right? Because you need to have a reality check. Once you go through a process to figure that out, it's taking the goals and breaking them down into bite-sized pieces so that you don't get overwhelmed, right? A lot of times we may have a goal, but we don't actually accomplish it because we're too overwhelmed to take the next step. So I have a sheet that we figure out, why is that goal important, right?
Oh, sounds like the sheet just fell down.
Something just fell down. I'm not sure what that was. So figuring out why that goal is important. And honestly, if you come up with the reason that the goal is important is money, you're not digging deep enough. It's the top level that most people have a goal because they want to make more money or they want to be financially secure. But if you keep asking, well, why do you want to be financially secure? Well, because I want to take care of my family. Well, why is taking care of your family important to you? And you just keep going all the way down to the real why. And it's going to keep you feeling empowered when things are tough. Right?
We call it getting to the emotional juice, the why you need to make more money. It's so important. And it might be as simple as, if I don't make more money, I'm going to have a difficult time paying my mortgage. You know,
right.
And that's a very powerful why.
Your why is, I want a house, I want a shelter for my family. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So he was going through this process. What do we do after we get the why for each goal?
We figure out things to be grateful for when times are tough. Okay. Right? So I have a gratitude sheet I do every week. And because every week something wrong is going to happen. There's no doubt about it. So I have to have things that I can be grateful for to keep my spirits going. Then we actually start getting into the nitty-gritty of breaking down the goal into actionable steps. And every time we come up with a step, it's like, okay, well, what are the 3 things I need to do to make that happen? Okay, if that's the next step, well, what are the 3 things I need to do to make that step actionable. And we dig down until it's what is the most impactful thing I could be doing in the next 5 minutes to help me reach my goal. But we ask things like, well, who can I ask for help? Because we can't go it alone. And how is it going to benefit me both personally and professionally? Because again, if it's not, it can't just be about your business. There needs to be something bigger.
Okay, so let me recap the process as I have it, and then I want to get into the nitty gritty. So I heard first it's business and personal goals, and there's goals, there's dreams, there's wishful thinking. So this is really the big picture stuff, and you got to distinguish it sounds like realistically attainable versus that long pot shot that may happen, but it's a real long pot shot. Is that true?
That's absolutely true.
Okay. Then you said break those goals into bite-sized pieces, something I guess that's actually doable, actionable. Then you said we got to define the why for those bite-sized pieces and the big goals themselves so that we have a motivator beyond making money. And that's where actually Ron brought up the example of, I want a roof over my head and my family's head or something. That's the stronger why. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then have a gratefulness list, because as you pursue your goals, there's going to be some tough times, and you got to look back.
Smell the flowers once in a while.
You got to just take a little sniffy of those flowers, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we peel it back to the most fundamental level, which is the actual steps, the stuff I can be doing today. And that sounds like the overarching formula that you gave us, right?
There is, and there's the one last piece.
Okay.
Is Zig Ziglar likes to call it telling the truth in advance.
Okay.
And it's about, okay, I'm reaching my goals. I'm working towards it. What does that look like? So you define the things that could go wrong on the path to whatever this goal is, and go, okay, well, this could go wrong. So if that happens, this is how I'm going to deal with it. And you figure that out before anything goes wrong, so that when something does happen, you can respond appropriately as opposed to overreact or underreact.
Getting ahead of the curve a little bit there. The what ifs.
And I think more importantly, we also to go one more step is what happens if things go right? We don't actually do a very good job of planning for success. And sometimes success can be just as big of a curveball as something going wrong. So in the telling the truth in advance, when we're writing out our goals, we make I am statements, or I have. So let's say your goal is 5 new clients. I have 5 new clients that I am serving at an incredible level. We are reaching our goals together. We're impacting lives, and you just say it as if it's real.
It's funny. I have a friend, actually a few friends, that have been very successful in business, right? So it's gone right.
You going to name drop again?
No.
Okay.
Because what's going wrong now is one of the persons is lonely. He has no one to hang out with. He decided he sold his business for so much money. He doesn't need to work, so he said, I'm going to stop working. But he's in his early 50s. No one else is retired. He has no one to hang out with.
Right.
He's lost purpose. Things went right, and he didn't have a plan afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go, Shaneh, into the details now. So you said for our business goals and personal goals that we need to differentiate between dreams, actual attainable goals, and wishful thinking. What are the differences of those things, and how do we know one's a pipe dream and one's a reality?
Well, I think part of it's what gets you excited. So I could say I want to be an astronaut. That could be a goal. Well, I'm 42 and slightly overweight and can't see worth a darn. So yeah, that's never going to happen. I should read about that or watch TV and sci-fi movies. I would just call that totally a pipe dream. Then there's, I'd like to have $1 million business, and I'm at $100,000 a year level. Well, that's a great goal, but it's a longer distance goal, right? It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
Okay.
So,
I know I got you on the difference. There's one quote that you shared earlier before we went on the show here, and I want to just read it word for word because this was a huge eye-opener for me, and I want to know how to navigate this. It's a quote from Zig Ziglar. It says, "The chief cause of failure and unhappiness is trading what you want most for what you want right now." So let me read that again. The chief cause of failure and unhappiness is trading what you want most for what you want right now. it sounds like we're jumping to the urgent and skipping the important. Tell me more about that.
Or it's the shiny, right?
The ocean.
I love Profit First, and it has been hugely impactful in my business. You can sell me on educational products like there is no tomorrow. And when I first started implementing the Profit First system, I went through all of my expenses and discovered that in 2016, between educational products, conferences, educational conferences, the travel to those conferences, I spent $46,000.
Wow.
Wow. You could have
Right?
sent that. You could have sent that all Profit First professionals and everyone. That's a lot.
And had money left over.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. And did you discover that by doing the Profit First analysis, like an assessment of your business?
I did.
Okay.
I knew it because I had a profit and loss, but I never looked at it in that way. And I was doing exactly that. I was trading what I really want, which is financial security and a successful business, right? For what I want right now, which was the shiny, the magic bullet that was going to change everything or save everything, or just, oh man, I love to learn and I love to read. So easy sell when it comes to anything educational.
So this is really powerful because I think it's an analysis everyone could do, the shiny analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, when you went through that, did you kind of mark, these were in the moment felt right, but in the long term didn't play out items? And if so, do you now have a strategy to prevent that shiny from happening again and hurting your business?
I did feel that way, and I absolutely do have a system.
I want to hear it.
I am totally a systems-oriented person. So I have rules that I have set up, particularly for my educational process. I have to be able to say, or I have to ask these questions. And this is, I don't care if it's a book on Amazon or a $2,500 online program. Have I exhausted all my free resources? Right?
I love that one.
Can I buy it cash, no credit?
Yeah.
And will it 4x me, right? Either 4x my bottom line, and a little harder to quantify is 4 times expand my mind, my knowledge, my heart. And if I can't say yes to all of those, then I cannot buy it.
That's great.
Yeah. That's a super nice analysis.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned earlier on about an accountability partner. They're not always there. They may not show up. But I know you have some tricks that when you want to amp up your accountability, you can find a good accountability partner. How do you go about that process?
Well, if you're lucky, you're part of a community of like-minded people, and you can throw it out there. I've done that successfully a couple times. The hard thing is to find somebody who is not just going to be kind. Oh, it's okay that you didn't do your whatever you committed to. You'll get it next time. There are times for being nice, but what you really want, or what I really need, is someone who doesn't take my crap and says, "No, you committed. You do it. Period."
Right. You know what?
You need to be.
Oops, sorry. It reminds me of when I got a personal trainer, and, the guy was really like my first or second day there, like beating up on me. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it. And it was his accountability that made me, by him, really giving me the tough love. Versus saying, okay, well, yeah, you can take a break now. You can do more next week.
Yeah, so he held you to the standard that you had set for yourself.
A high standard, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the standard you set for yourself. He wouldn't let you off the hook.
No.
Right, you said, I want to get fit. I want to get better.
Yep.
He said, okay, that's what we're
going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me, remember Young Frankenstein? There's a famous scene in the movie where Dr. Frankenstein, he says, I'm going to go in to this room with this monster. He goes, no matter how much I scream, how much I beg to come out, don't let me out. Right? And he goes in, he goes, oh, mama, let me out. And they don't.
They don't.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing from you, Shaneh. Is that kind of the reality?
It is, absolutely. One of the things that I implemented with one of my accountability partners was we wrote a checkout, and it was to a charity or a organization that we absolutely hated.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we failed to meet our goal and do the work we said we were going to do, for me, Hillary Clinton would have got money.
I got
And
you.
can I tell you, Hillary Clinton never got my money.
There you go.
No wonder she lost. So you didn't have your support.
She had Wall Street.
Yeah, right. That's true. So, okay, so you pick something that you didn't resonate with and you write out a check. So now there's a pain consequence. Interestingly enough, last week we did an episode, Shaneh, with Salim Omar, Ron, if you remember that. And he was talking about you have to leverage pain triggers to get you to motivate to do things. Okay, so now I understand the accountability partner. What about you talked also about the necessity to write down these goals, and offline you were talking about the impact of actually physically writing them down. I don't really understand that yet. Why do I need to document these things, and why do I need to write it down physically?
Well, there's a kinesthetic response to physically writing it out as opposed to typing it. It's the way our brain, the neurons or whatever, I don't know all the science behind it, activates. Writing it out, there's a Harvard review statistic thingy, I can't quote it to you, I'm sorry, that talks about, people who set their goals, who just say they have goals and what they are something like 70% more likely to achieve their goals than somebody who has no goals. Which, well, okay, that makes sense. But the people who physically write down their goals and maybe never look at them again are like 70% more likely than the second group to achieve their goals. The difference between just saying it and writing it.
But hold on, you threw in a little. I think it almost sounds superfluous at a second, but now it doesn't. You said the people that write down the goals but don't even necessarily look at them ever again. What? Okay, this does sound like an Ivy League type of study. Because what the hell's going on there? That's a mind meld.
Yeah, there's something that activates in your brain when you the physical act of writing it. That it's almost like it cements it. People who tend to write to-do lists. It's the same reason. When they write that to-do list, they're more likely to check it off, right? And complete the tasks, as opposed to somebody who has a online system that they never go on and actually check, right? There is something satisfying and rewarding about the act of physically writing it out. I'm also a very visual person, so I have a vision board, and they're pictures of all of my goals, which when I reach them, I then transfer them to a success board. So then I have the goals I'm working on and the goals I've achieved side by side. So when I need a little uplift, I have something to go look at and say, yeah, I did that. Go me.
Yeah.
Nice. Smart.
Yeah. I love the experience of just crossing things out when they're completed. We use a program called Asana. Lenny's actually, you don't even know this. Lenny's using it. You're not using it, but Lenny, your assistant uses it.
Right.
About 6 people in the office.
I love Asana.
I love Asana. I'm addicted to it. It's ASANA.com.
I just do my tasks and I don't need a tracker.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So what you can do is cross assignments and so forth. So you can throw stuff to people, but when you click it off, it crosses it out visually on the screen, and then you can get this little thing where it shoots a little starburst or something like that.
It is cool when it's crossed off, though.
Yeah, it feels good. You click it, and you just see it crossed off. It's like, you sense that accomplishment. That seems like another confirmation of what you're saying. Now, this is just a digital version of that. What do you think about that, Shaneh?
Doing it digitally is better than not doing it at all, but I still think the act of physically writing it, the hand to paper, the pen to paper, makes it even more powerful. As part of my self-accountability program, every Sunday night, and my whole team does this along with several of my clients, we sit down and we plan, what are we going to get done this next week? And I don't mean the minute tasks. I'm going to do a payroll for this XYZ client. I mean, I'm going to reach out and connect with people in my niche, at least 3 of them, and try and get on one of their podcasts, right? They're little goals that are to help you reach your bigger goal. We set those up every week before the week starts, right? Being successful the night before. And we work out what action steps we need to take this week. Who do we need to connect with this week? What are we grateful for this week? And we ask all those questions, including our why questions, the beginning of every week or Sunday night. Then we do our tasks all week long. And at the end of the week, we review. How did I do? Did I stay on task? Did I spend the time on the right things? Did I connect with the people I wanted to connect with? What could I have done better? Right? So we're bookending our week every week with these questions.
I love it.
We also do this. You love it?
Mm-hmm.
We do the same thing each month too. We bookend the month, right? So you do each week, and then you review the month, and then you set up your month and go, okay, what am I going to accomplish this week, and how am I going to break that into weekly parts?
And
you
even
do all
more
your weeks.
powerful, declaring
Yep.
it in front of others, what your goals
Mm-hmm.
are. I mean, literally
Yep.
saying it. It's almost how we run our daily morning huddle. Everybody has, their one big thing that they're going to do today to move the company forward, not just, hey, I'm going to, get the payroll out, or I'm going to deliver the mail.
So I got an idea. So Shaneh, you were talking about that, the saying versus the writing, and writing's more powerful. But now Ron's suggesting the combination, right? Say, in our huddle, Shaneh, what do you think of this? When we declare our big one for the day, the person running the meeting writes it up. I wonder if the person themselves should go up and write it up.
Right.
To further make
nice
that
tweak.
concrete.
I agree.
Maybe we should try that.
Yeah.
Shaneh, what do you think about that?
I would definitely have the person whose goal it is to write up their own goal.
Okay.
And again,
all right. We might have a little tweak for our meetings.
Go. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shaneh, you said during your process that the why behind the goal is critical. And then right after that, you said, and it shouldn't be money. And I'm like, oh, wait. Wait, this is the profit first. The whole organization is based on profitability. But money? This shouldn't be about money. But I think I'm already leaning toward what you're saying without understanding fully. So explain that further. Why should the why behind the goal be about something other than money?
Well, money is not very satisfying. It's actually a very shallow reward. Will you play a game with me?
Yeah, I'll play a game with you. Do I win?
Okay.
I want to win.
Can I play?
Yeah,
We're both.
you can both play.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you want Profit First to be successful?
Oh, well, for me, it's very clear to change the entrepreneurial landscape, to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty.
Okay. Why is eradicating entrepreneurial poverty important?
Yeah, well, very obvious for me too. I personally experienced it, and it's devastating. Where there's this air of success, the outside world thinks you're successful, and you're literally dying inside. And as a result, compromising family, friends, the people that depend on you, I was compromising, and I won't stand for that anymore. In myself or anybody.
So, right. So what's important is being genuine and truly taking care of your family, as opposed to the appearance of being successful, right?
That's right.
Okay. So why is being genuine and taking care of your family so important?
Well, I think that's the ultimate definition of love and caring. I think authenticity, realness, and doing what serves family. And I believe that, by the way, that starts a positive sequence of things. When you do the right for others, they'll do right for others. And Karma. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
And I know, Ron, you know this too. In my family, unfortunately, we have had abuse. And that's a very broad, I'm just using a very broad term of abuse. But when you have abuse, that can perpetuate too. So this is my form of, I'm putting kind of the line in the sand and not allowing entrepreneurial poverty to propagate. And I think hopefully my family and friends and we as an organization continue that.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that what's important to you is in making your small part of the world better and leaving a legacy behind that improves the life of others, helps eradicate entrepreneurial poverty, helps break the cycle of abuse, allows people to be genuine, open, honest, inspirational.
Damn, that's good. Yeah, that's it.
So in what part of that, where would money play? Which one's more powerful?
I do want to have a nice t-shirt. I mean,
but
the
which
part
is
that
more
money
powerful?
has, there's two parts, right? So I do want to live a lifestyle that I define as comfortable and flexible, meaning
Sure.
when I want to pursue an experience that I want to be able to say, yeah, I can do it. I actually, this weekend, paid for my children's college, and that was 2 kids in college, man. That was painful.
No wonder you were crazy. No wonder you had.
There's a lot of financial stress. That's when Jane's older, I already feel for you and Mary.
I know.
So that's part of it. Like I want my children to have the education that I believe will serve them. But really, even above and beyond that, Shaneh, is I know that the more money that this organization can generate, the more we can perpetuate what we want to do. Because of our success, we brought on Billy Ann Grigg, who is phenomenal, and we're elevating the quality of experience for our members, which in turn will elevate the quality of experience for their clients, which will further eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. But money is necessary to do that.
Money's the tool.
Yeah, that's the word.
It's not your why.
That's not the word.
Right? It's not your why. If your why stopped at, I just want more money so that I can have cool things.
I see.
It would never work. Your why goes so much deeper than that. And that's what's important to discover, because your why is what's going to keep you motivated when things are tough.
I see, said the blind man. Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
Now, how do you handle, but the other side of the coin is, money does motivate people, and they do want those nice things. And, early on in my career, that's what I was focused about. So that I was focusing on the money, and the drive was to, accumulate it to buy things. What's wrong with that?
I don't want to say this in a wrong way, but I personally find just the pursuit of money to be shallow. And what little bit I know about you, Ron, that even if you were driven and determined to make more money so you could have the cool things, there was still something inside you that was deeper and more powerful than that, even if it wasn't acknowledged.
She pinned you against the wall. That's totally true, bro.
Right, it's totally true. And Oprah pulled it out of me, but that's a story for another day. But you're absolutely right. There does come a point where, okay, yeah, you are making a lot of money, and it's nice, and there is security, but there is a void. And Mike and I have spoken about this, as well as me and my wife, that there was a significant void in my life, and that, it wasn't being filled by, money.
Yep. And that's why I think it's important to go deep. Right. And it'll keep you motivated. It'll keep anybody focused in the right direction. It also allows us to make decisions, right? To help say no to the shiny, because if it's not in alignment with our why, then what's the point? I'd rather spend my time in alignment with my why than, okay, if it's another cool concert, yeah, I'll probably spend the money instead.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
But that enriches. What I'm hearing is it enriches your life too. Like I don't like the concept of money is evil, and I don't like the concept of money is good.
Well, profit is not evil. Like when we had Ingrid on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, what I like is that it's a tool. It's a tool for experience, and I think it can be used to serve others, but it also in serving ourselves, that we feel more enriched in serving others. So I totally see that balance. But I want to move on because we're starting to run a little tight on time. You said kind of create this grateful list for when times are tough. I know every accountant and bookkeeper right now is nodding their head that's listening to the show saying, yeah, I know the tough times, and no, I don't have a grateful list. What exactly is that? How do we create that? And what's the practical way of using it to really serve us?
Well, I have a sheet, and it's for when I can't think of anything to be grateful for. It'll ask me questions, right? List 3 people that you're grateful for. List 3 beautiful moments that you're grateful for, so I can get me thinking. But what I like to do is every day, I list at least 3 things that I'm grateful for from the day before. And honestly, when times are really tough, it may be I'm just so thankful my husband didn't burn down the barn.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's, I am so grateful for this beautiful country that we live in, or this thunderstorm that washes all the yuck away. I like imagery and beauty. It keeps me satisfied and whole. So every day. Now, for close to 2 years, I actually listed my things I was grateful for every day on Facebook. Not because I wanted the pat on the back, but because I felt, when it was my own version of self-accountability, I am going to do this grateful thing even when I don't feel like it, because those people are expecting it now. And if my enjoyment of a beautiful, peaceful moment, a good book, a great cup of coffee, some bourbon, can inspire other people.
Yes.
Can inspire other people to find the grateful things to be grateful for in the little moments, then it was worth at what at times felt like a little bit of self-humiliation.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. It is, sometimes the little things that'll help get us out of being down in the rut. And when I've coached sales folks and then maybe they're not having a good month and they think the world's coming in. Well, you know what? Listen, look what you've accomplished. Take a look. Don't beat yourself up over things so much. Smell the roses. Enjoy what the success you have had, and remember that, because what you're going through now, it's not going to be that bad once it's all over and done with.
Every day you wake up with a pulse, you have at least one thing to be grateful for.
Tell me about the actionable steps in your formula here. You said that you once you have the action steps, nail it down to 3 things to make that happen, and then kind of whittle that down to 3 more things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, for example, right now I've got a goal of 4 new clients in 45 days. So my action steps for today may be call 3 current clients and ask for a referral source.
Okay, so these are the kind of the micro tasks that will move you toward that goal.
Exactly. Yep.
And when you said, get those 3 referrals or whatever. When do you know you're going too micro? Like I could say, well, 3 steps before that are make sure I pick up the phone, dial the phone number, and talk to the people. There's a certain point where it becomes too molecular. How do you know you're getting there?
When you're doing that instead of doing the work.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right.
When the time the document is more. Okay, that's a good one.
Right. Just pick up the phone.
Yeah, Jesus.
Just pick up the phone, McAllowitz.
Yeah. Ron knows I don't like picking up the phone. Yeah. Okay. Shaneh, this has been some great stuff. Sadly, we're out of time, but I wanted to talk about one more thing before we let you go. I know E3 Services, you've developed a planner.
I've seen it. It's great.
Oh, do you have it?
I do have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it flows nice. It's laid out well. It's very nice.
So tell us about this planner you got, and I don't know if you can give access to our members in some way or people listening to the show, but we'd love to hear that too.
Sure. I have, and I'll give you guys, I don't know if you guys do show notes, because I haven't been on your website for this. I apologize. Well, I'll give you a link, and anybody can download the weekly accountability, which talks about the why, the gratitude, and then does the weekly planning and weekly review. Now, I have a whole planner, which is 12 months of, what do I want this year, and breaking it down into what do I need to do this quarter, breaking it down, what do I need to do this month, and then each week, and then bookends. How did I do this month? How did I do this quarter? How did I do this year? We developed it because it was what I was doing myself, and clients kept going, Shaneh, how do you get it all done? Right. And so I started showing people just one off, and people liked it. So we've actually started doing a quarterly strategic thinking session with our clients where we walk them through the entire process to help guide them and keep them on track for the year. Because it's so sad when you wake up, December 25th and go, wow, I'm not going to reach my year-end goals because this is the first chance I've had to think about it.
Right.
Okay. So you have that available. Thank you so much. And where can people just learn more about your organization, E3 Services?
Well, e-3services.com. And then Facebook. I love my Facebook posts. We talk all about inspiration and motivation. So that's a great way to get to know our character.
Fantastic.
Good stuff.
Fantastic. All right, Shaneh, I got one more thing to say.
Oh, my.
It was a joy having you today. Thanks for sharing all those details. That was great.
You're welcome. I look forward to seeing you at Howard Partridge's conference.
Oh, that's right. That's coming
Yeah.
up soon, too, Mr. Howard Partridge.
Oh, you're welcome. I lined that up for you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was on...
I've seen him speak. Howard's great.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to do it. And Shaneh,
Can
I
I
look
take
forward
a
to seeing you at ProfitCon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, I will be there.
Awesome. Well, take care.
Thanks.
And you, my listener friends, you better be at ProfitCon. We'll tell you what that's all about in just a minute. But first, I want to thank our corporate partners who make the show a reality. They are Fundbox, as a cash flow accelerator. You know, your clients have those invoices that are having problems collecting, or that one invoice they've been waiting for to pay bills, maybe pay your bill. Now they can get that money right away. It's called Fundbox, or go to our website, fundbox.com. Fill in the amount due in invoices, and Fundbox releases those funds typically within 24 hours. Ronnie, you up for one?
Receipt Bank.
Oh, you always pick the best.
Yeah, Receipt Bank, and buddies over there, Damien, what a great guy. They'll really, their whole team will really teach you how to utilize the productivity savings adventure that is Receipt Bank.
Yeah, they are amazing. And
They're doing new stuff all the time.
I know,
it's unbelievable.
Very cutting edge software. Actually, it's funny, when I was using it today, it said there's a new download available, but I was like, I'm just scanning the receipt, so I'll see what the new download is this afternoon.
And then your favorite,
Nextiva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love the people. I had a call with. I think I told you. Did I tell you my former employer? My first.
the guy who fired you?
No.
Or you called all drunk? And,
Oh no.
okay.
Oh no. Okay, so there's another little company called Intercom. I worked with them for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Peter McNally, my boss from 20 years ago, calls. He tells voice over IP phone system. We're talking, and he's like, "Hey, I wanted to catch up. I'm coming to New Jersey. Great to hear your voice. Blah blah. Great to hear you." I said, "You know, you ever hear of coming Nextiva?" He's like, "Nextiva? That's the only company I sell VoIP for."
No way.
20 years he's been doing voice over IP phone systems. He's exclusive with Nextiva.
That's great.
Yeah.
He's not going to meet you because we already have it, right?
No, yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Would that be funny? He's like, nah, we don't need me anymore. That was nonsense. So I started name dropping. Like, oh, I know Thomas, the founder. I know Yaniv. He's like, no, I have no idea who they are.
Oh, really?
Well, Nextiva is huge. Nextiva is now like 300 and 400 people. Right. But Nextiva, listen, if Peter McNally, my former boss, who did only VoIP systems for all these years, nearly 20 years, is using Nextiva as the exclusive, that's how freaking good it is. Your client should be using it too. And the competitive price doesn't hurt either. All right, Ron. Let's see.
What did we learn?
Yeah, what did we learn today?
Yeah. Well, I actually learned
that was the only sound effect I had.
Well, the self-accountability is very, very, very tough. And one of the things that really stood out when Shaneh was talking was setting up rules, various different rules for various things. And she's kind enough to admit that, she's a sucker for educational products.
Yeah.
So she set up the rules. Has she exhausted free resources? Can she buy it on cash? Will it 4x the money and her mind? I think that having these little rules in place and also penalties will absolutely hold yourself accountable, especially writing a check to a charity or an individual or a service or something that you just don't like.
Yeah, that was pretty powerful. Mm-hmm. That was actually super powerful. What I learned was the Oh Shiny analysis. That was kind of cool to go through your list and say, what are the shiny objects on there? I like the why behind the goals. And I like to tell the truth in advance, or tell the truth in advance. The Zig Ziglar technique of really evaluating what if things go right, how are you going to address it?
Right.
But also, what if things go wrong, how are you going to address it? That was pretty powerful. All right, Ron. Well, that's what we learned today. And you, our dear friends, I want to know what you. I don't mind because I said dear friends. Every time I say dear friends,
oh my!
It says, oh my. I want to know what you learned. I've been going through the blog.
Wait, what?
When I say dear friends,
oh my!
It just triggers that for some reason.
Dear friends.
No, you don't have the right voice. It's dear friends.
Oh my!
So, I was going through the blog today.
Uh-huh.
There must have been like 13 comments up there I hadn't seen yet, so I responded to all of them.
Right.
So we want to know what you feel about this episode. Go to Profit First Professionals, if our blog post there, and you'll see all the podcast episodes. Share your comments. What did you learn from Shaneh? Or maybe you can add some stuff. Dan Nichols was on a few episodes back. There was a comment up there that was pretty fascinating. Okay. So I just wanted to share that, but now I wanted to get to the juicy thing. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the psychology of the sale. This is the one tip not the one tip, but this is the tip on how to be a persuasive marketer. Not a manipulative one, persuasive, to get the customers what they need, even when they're not ready, or at least they're uncomfortable, but still moving them to where they need to be.
Absolutely. And timely. What a great lead-in. This is called the involvement principle. This is when we have a personal involvement in something, it becomes more interesting and we're more engaged with it.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's so many things out there that I could be interested in, Mike, but I only have time for so much. So I ignore the things that don't seem important.
Right.
And sometimes in accounting business, the owner, not of the practice, but the customer may not see what they're doing as important. So we want to get more involved with our customers, okay? When they're involved, they're more interested and engaged. And so, the things that I'm not involved with seem trivial. They're unimportant. However, when I am really involved with something, I discover more about it and find it interesting. And that's what we want with our customers. We want them to understand what we're doing, invest in their time, and therefore we're able to do a better job. So what can you do with your accounting practice? Well, here's what you can do to get your customers involved. Weave in strategic conversations that are part of your engagement letter. Pre-schedule a year's worth of calls with your customer. Maybe it's once a month. Maybe it's once a quarter. We have a whole year scheduled with our bookkeeper every morning at 8 a.m. And you know what? I look forward to it. You can decide on whatever frequency you want, but I know that because of my regular involvement, it's making a positive difference to our bottom line, and it will to yours as well. Get those customers involved.
Boom. I love that. Engagement during the process itself. Mm-hmm. One more thing I love is this song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ron.
I forgot that speed bag again.
Oh.
You know?
One we'll bring it next week.
I know.
Oh,
man, Billy is going to be in for it on Friday.
I know. He's joining us, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. You said, hey, Billy, you should join us. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So I was walking by her desk. I'm like, you joining us? She's like, not until Friday's recording. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this will be a little too intense. You're here 2 days, and we're jamming you with Eye of the Tiger. This is the GMAP Now test. The one test, if you do it, you will see results. It's real easy. You just learn from Shaneh how to build that list of action items, things you need to do. One little additional list you need to do, and you can put it right at the top of your monitor on a little strip of paper. It's the what I won't stand for list.
Oh.
We have the no dicks allowed, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how many people will take on goals and tasks, but then compromise themselves by doing things that they really shouldn't. So what are the things you commit not to doing? We here say we won't deal with dicks. And we've had opportunities that are all in alignment. They're financial opportunities, yeah, sure. They're driving the business forward, yeah, sure. But the person that we're building the relationship with is not a fit for us, and in the long term, it's a bad move. So make one more simple, easy list, the what I won't stand for list, and that will serve you into the future big time.
Boom.
Okay. I think that's it, Ron. I think we're ready for our Rapola.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great episode. Thank you, Shaneh. And thank you, listeners. All you guys can join us today, and you can find us on Stitcher. Actually, you can review us on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Of course, we would love your 5-star ratings. Also, take a look at Profit First Professionals blog and leave us a comment.
Oh, yeah. And join us at ProfitCon. The time is a-ticking. Today, as we're broadcasting this, it's August 31st. We're literally 30 days, well, actually less than 30 days away from ProfitCon.
We got to get a venue.
He's being a schmo. We have a venue, trust me.
Hyatt, Morristown, New Jersey.
Exactly. We want to see you there. You know what? You can still get a ticket.
Start of the revolution. You
can show up at the door and lay out 1,000 bills, or you can get the discount right now at $7.99. And all you have to do is go to profitcon.us. That's PROFITCON, as in profitconference.us, and get your ticket down there. It's going to be an amazing event. And all the details are up there. Oh, and one more thing you can do, by the way, is join Profit First Professionals and get your ticket basically
super discount.
Super discount, because all Profit First Professionals get for a super discount. But also, why not drive profitability into every one of your clients? Why not drive profitability into your business? Well, that's what Profit First Professionals is all about. And we'd love to have a dialogue with you, because we're looking for the best of the best right now. So you have to take the first step. Go to profitfirstprofessionals.com, click on the Become button, fill out the form, and let's get the dialogue started. Let's bring profitability to the world together. All right.
Do it now.
We're out of here.